Good morning, people of Skidaway Island Methodist Church. I hope you're going to have a wonderful day. This week's scripture in the lectionary, the gospel reading is from Mark chapter 8. Hear these words. Jesus went on to his disciples to the village of Caesarea Philippi, and on the way he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They answered him, "John the Baptist, and others, Elijah, and still others, one of the prophets." He asked them, "But who do you say I am?" Peter answered him, "You are the Messiah." And he sternly ordered them not to tell anyone about him. Then he began to teach them that the Son of Man must undergo great suffering and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. He said all this quite openly, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But turning and looking at his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan, for you are setting your mind not on divine things, but on human things." The scripture is a perfect picture of Jesus trying to educate, trying to enlighten his disciples as to what's about to happen, but also broaden their understanding of what the Messiah really is all about. You see, Peter had an understanding that was culturally accepted then, that Messiah would come reigning on a white horse and do his best to conquer the occupying forces of Rome and free them. But Jesus was trying to tell him that that's not the way it's going to work. Something else is going to happen, something that you have no idea about. It reminds me of a great story about the Taj Mahal. You'll see the image here. The building, one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's intended to be a mausoleum. One of the Shahs back in the 1600s, his favorite queen died in childbirth after 30 hours of delivery. And he wanted to build something to memorialize her. And so he came up with a wonderful architect, and the result is what you see behind me, the Taj Mahal. It's a beautiful thing. But during the building that was going on in the 1600s, they wanted to have everything balanced. They wanted everything to appear wonderful. But for inspiration purposes, the Shah had his wife's casket placed in the middle of the building area, the work site. And as work continued, it took 20 years to finish the building. But at one point, legend has it that they were trying to get everything so beautiful and so coordinated that finally the architect turned to the Shah and said, "You know, this would be a perfect view if we could just get rid of this wooden box here, this casket. If we could move that somewhere else, it would be a beautiful scene." And it is said that yes, the casket was removed, and that she was remains are somewhere else other than where it originally its purpose. You see, his purpose was to build something to memorialize her, and it wound up the image of what they built was far from what he had imagined, and forgot totally about her remains. So for Jesus and the disciples, trying to explain to them more about what it is Messiah is all about is something that we need to remember, because so many times our understanding of Messiah is boxed in. We have an understanding and want to keep God in this perfect box that we have. And we must remember that God has bigger images. God has a bigger idea than we do. And it's part of our responsibility is to be open, to be educated by God, to the far reachings of his love for us all. Have a great day.